They are the faces in the shadows of society, but today organizations and leaders all over Ohio shined a spotlight on poverty here in the state.
The Ohio Association of Community Action Agencies just released the State of Poverty Report of 2022, and it highlights how Ohio still trails behind the national poverty rate. As News 5's Clay Lepard shows us, data says Ohio's poverty problem is getting smaller, but those on the ground say there is still quite a bit that needs to be done.
The last several years haven't been too kind to Brittany McCown.
When I became pregnant, I was very low income, a single mother at 3 months.
Raising her daughter, Grace.
I call her my saving grace.
While trying to keep it all together. Brittany's one of many using resources here at Step Forward, a Cuyahoga County-based nonprofit helping low-income families become self-sufficient.
COVID made it worse.
Step Forward's president, Dr. Jacqueline Chisholm, sees how in Cuyahoga County, nearly 1 out of every 5 residents currently lives below the poverty threshold, a situation made worse by the pandemic.
There are a lot of families who, were middle income or like on the verge of middle income, and then I've slipped into poverty.
And across the state, it's not much better. A new study from the Ohio Association of Community Action Agencies examines what poverty looks like in the Buckeye State today. The report focused on 4 areas typically tied to poverty: employment, housing, childcare, and student loans. For example, data shows 76% of childcare centers are experiencing a staffing shortage, and fewer staff means fewer options for parents.
I think the solution is we need a government that's a little more active.
At the end of the day, Philip Cole with the Ohio Association of Community Action Agencies says it all comes down to jobs and setting people up for the right kind of compensation through training and education.
You need to make a good wage to be able to afford childcare. You need to make a good wage in order to be able to afford a good home. And in order to get a good wage, you have to have proper training and education. All these things are tied in together, but it really comes down to how much money you make.
A trend he hopes is moving in the right direction. As for Brittany McCown, she says with the support from Step Forward, she's hoping to one day head back to school as she continues to look ahead toward her future.
I want people to know that there is hope and you can look out to other resources to help you.
In Cleveland, Clay Lepard, News 5.
And that poverty report also looked at factors like student loan debt and housing across Ohio. So let's start with a closer look at where our state stands when it comes to student loans. Ohio ranks number 32 in the nation for median income, but we're much higher for student loan debt. We're number 13 in the country. Now, to put that in perspective, the report found the median income here in Ohio is about $1,400 less than the national average, but our student loan debt is $1,600 higher than the national average. So how does our housing situation look? The report found one of the lowest income homeowners across Ohio. 2/3 are considered cost burden, and that means they're spending at least half of their income on housing-related costs. Now, across the state, there's a shortage of roughly 250,000 affordable rental units.
Now, there is some good news to report tonight related to poverty. The census says the percentage of children living in poverty was nearly cut in half last year. It was 5.2% in 2021, down from 9.7% in 2020. The report says it's a result of the enhanced child tax credit that was in effect last year. Lawmakers did not extend that credit beyond 2021.